Hi, my name is Colbert and let's start with my time at Sandrock. 20th place belongs to this complex, open-world, crafting adventure, single-player horror game. Well, it's a horror game if you don't like games like that, but to everyone who played and liked titles like Stardew Valley, Graveyard Keeper, Keen Seed, Yonder, and especially my time at Porsche, it is a post-apocalyptic gem. There's not much to say except the part that it is a nice game destined for you to relax after a hard workday. The whole experience feels like a simplified single-player World of Warcraft. Here you can craft various inventions, ride various mounts, take quests, and have a huge open world to explore. My girlfriend would sell her soul for my time at Sandrock, if she had one. Stray. This is a cat simulator, but not a usual one because the game is set in a cyberpunk world and that stirs the pot a bit. Game is a third-person cat adventure game set in a detailed neon-lit alleys of a decaying cyber city and the murky environments of its seedy underbelly. Here you can roam surroundings high and low, defend against unforeseen threats and solve the mysteries of this unwelcoming place inhabited by nothing but unassuming droids, dangerous creatures, and things. You know, like evil duct tape. It's your enemy. If in your life a cat ever owned you, you know why. Also, if you can't waste 9 lives while defeating Vacuum Cleaner Boss, I will be utterly disappointed. Slime Rancher 2. First game is a proud owner of overwhelmingly positive reviews, so it's no surprise to see the second part among the most anticipated games on Steam as well. Here you will continue your adventures on Rainbow Island, a mysterious land brimming with ancient technology, unknown natural resources, and an avalanche of wiggling, jiggling new slimes to discover. It's another game meant for you to relax after a hard workday. Euro Truck Simulator 2 – Heart of Russia. In 17th place is the only DLC to an already existing game, so here you will drive in Russia, world's largest country by land size, although it's mostly empty with a density of about 9 Russians in 1 square kilometer. But for comparison, in the USA that number is even lower if you count Russians, but if you count Americans it's 36 per square kilometer, 4 times more populated. But all that is a joke if you count Bangladeshis in Bangladesh. Almost 1,300 of them live in the same area, and I have no idea how. So obviously the game will concentrate not on the Russian void, but on more populated areas like Moscow, sites of the Volga and Oka rivers, and interesting centuries-old cities. Atomic Heart. Events of Atomic Heart unfold in an alternative universe during the high noon of the Soviet Union. The main character of the game is a special agent who was sent to a highly secret object by the Soviet government after it went radio silent. So as you can guess, the weak batteries of local radio is not the issue. The monsters and various robots are. They went amok, haywire, and crazy, and only you can stop them, and by doing that unveil the creepy secrets of a creepy Soviet facility. Atomic Heart is a weird mix of Bioshock and SCP Containment Breach made with graphics of the next generation. Manor Lords. 15th place. Here you'll build your own medieval village which in time will turn into a sprawling city. And then, if your city is strong enough, you can engage in
raping and pillaging
activities by raiding your neighbors. Well, almost every RTS game works this way. Game is strictly single player and at first it was created by one man. Now the creator has some helpers, so the process of developing is speeding up. Company of Heroes 3. Game will take you to the Mediterranean front of World War II. During the non-linear single-player campaign on a large global map filled with dozens of classic real-time missions, you will fight in Italy and North Africa, so more Mussolini and less Hitler this time. I don't know if that is better, but let's be fair, in the real world it's hard to imagine someone sane who would say that more Hitler is better than less Hitler. I guess that doesn't count with video games. One of the biggest novelties in the gameplay model will be an active pause, which will appear only during single-player missions. It will enable you to take chill actions even in the most heated moments of battle, so you can eat your potato salad without stress. Carlson. Here you will play as a milk addict. Yeah, you heard me right, that is a thing. Here you, as the milk-infused man, will stop at nothing to locate and drink your favorite beverage. Carlson presents a unique skill-based movement highly inspired by classic FPS titles, set in a mysterious, futuristic setting with a ripped-off color scheme and gameplay vibe from Portal games. That's for sure, but the game itself looks like a lot of fun. Here you'll have to fight your way out of the facility and discover the truth behind your past and the terrible addiction. Dwarf Fortress. This is probably the most famous game in development since 2003 that had no graphics. The version everyone knows was using text instead. So now Dwarf Fortress version with graphics is brewing on Steam and will emerge in its overwhelming glory one day. Sadly, that day isn't announced yet. Here we'll get a whole simulated world, rise and fall of civilizations, personalities, creatures, cultures, and so on. Infinite hours of gameplay await you. Game inspired and influenced such projects as RimWorld and even Minecraft, so despite that it looks, you know, old school, this is one of the most complex games ever created. LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. All 9 Star Wars movies in one game. Every LEGO and Star Wars fan should be excited about this one, because here you can play as a Jedi, a Sith, Rebel, Bounty Hunter, Droid, or many other characters. There are hundreds of heroes you can take control of. The game is meant for the younger audience, but it's not only for kids in any way. Everyone can enjoy the whimsical humor and fun action. For example, after playing such games like Dying Light 2, I just love to go and have fun with lighter games like Fall Guys, so I may try this one as well. Warhammer 40,000: Darktide. One of the most popular genres these days, a 4-player co-op shooter, is getting a Warhammer release. If you ever played Vermintide or Tetris, you should pay your attention to Darktide, because it's being made by the same developers as Vermintide. So, why Tetris, you may ask? Because Tetris is a metaphor for killing waves of enemies coming at you with increasing speed, where you are sooner or later overrun by evil shapes and forms. And in Darktide, enemies are also coming in various shapes and forms, so it's basically the same game as Tetris, just with different everything. Although if you like the melee factor of Vermintide, be aware that here you will wield projectile weapons as well, you know, like in Space Marine, just in first person. Frostpunk 2. No gameplay footage exists yet, but we all know that Frostpunk is not about the graphics. It's about tiny details that add up to your success or to your failure. In Frostpunk 2, the age of Steam has passed, and now oil leads the way as humanity's newest salvation. However, with the new threats on the horizon, the future of the city looks even grimmer than before. So be sure to make a lot of children and put them to work in the oil fields. They are great for cleaning dirty pipes adults can fit in. Also, if you like Frostpunk, I do recommend watching Snowpiercer on Netflix. Really nice post-apocalyptic show. Or move to live in Lithuania in winter. Same feeling. Starfield. If you crossbreed Star Wars with Skyrim and then add some Mass Effect in, you will get Starfield. This is the most accurate description I could think of so far. And I love Skyrim, Star Wars and Mass Effect, so I kinda hope that Bethesda will deliver a good quality game. I hope they learn from the Cyberpunk 2077 failure. I hope that every company who makes AAA games learned from Cyberpunk, but I'll be honest, I believe in Bethesda. I like every single player game made by them, and even if they were a bit buggy, I had so much fun playing them. Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. Stalker series were survival games in the best way. You were thrown into a creepy wasteland filled with mutants and anomalies, and you had to make money by finding rare stuff in dangerous locations. That was the ultimate survival of the fittest. Also, you could drink vodka, because every game about Eastern Europe must involve some vodka. The more the better, and everyone knows that vodka can protect you from radiation. Nah, I'm kidding. The only thing vodka can protect you from is the bright memories of the day before. Or, you know, a healthy liver. Total War Warhammer 3. Manage great armies, conquer kingdoms, and lead your troops to failure or victory, but we all know that when you are in command, nothing ever goes as planned. Previous part, Total War Warhammer 2 was a real gem. It had no flaws, it is a perfect game except for the paid DLCs. If you want to obtain all 10 of them, it will cost you additional 140 euros. That's a no-no. Warhammer 3 will probably have the same model, but that's not a bad thing. If something is good enough to seduce you to buy more of it, it means that it is a great thing, or it's drugs and you have no actual control, but mostly a great thing. So let's hope that Warhammer 3 will be good enough for us to want a DLC or two to be released. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. The developers of the game had serious problems. Workers were leaving this project one after another, like alcoholics would leave a bar that only has juice to offer. The game was supposed to be released in 2020s, then it has been delayed to 2021 without any specific date set, and now it's 2022, so there is a huge chance that this game will never ever see the light of release. But if it does, you will have a chance to enter the world of darkness and rise through vampire society. In the sequel of the classic game, your choices, plots and schemes will change the balance of power. You'll have to ask yourself two important questions. What monster will you be? And what vodka is your favorite? I'm kidding, vampires only drink juice. Human juice. The Day Before. Game looks like a nice title that merges games like Tom Clancy's The Division, The Last of Us and even Mudrunner into a one zombie apocalypse MMO survival game set on a post-pandemic America. Those who survived are killing each other for food, weapons and cars. Really casual and usual stuff. I will say honestly, I'm not sure that we need another game about zombies, but it is in 4th place by wishlist density, so we probably actually need it. Hollow Knight Silksong. I just found my old video where I was hoping to see this game released in June of 2020s. That was a long time ago, so I am not surprised that Silksong has ended in the wishlist of so many people. You will journey to new lands, discover new powers, battle vast hordes of bugs, beetles and beasts, uncover ancient secrets tied to your nature and your past. Also, you will face over 150 never-before-seen foes, and everyone wants you dead, but you are the ultimate killing machine and no bug or beetle is safe near you. Party Animals. Dumb stuff is always popular, especially if it's fun. Human Fall Flat and Fall Guys are among the most popular games of all time, just because they are so fun to play. Hard to master, I should say, but definitely enjoyable, and your age doesn't matter. Me and my family have played Fall Guys for hours and hours, and we had really good laughing sessions every time we did that. So Party Animals are aiming at the same spot. Quirky, funny and cute characters and dumb gameplay. It's all we actually need. Yeah, that and boobs. Elden Ring. The game now is few weeks before being released, and it's already the 3rd most sold game on Steam. Yeah, people are pre-ordering the Elden Ring like crazy. I did that as well, and I don't even like Dark Souls. The thing that got me was the promise that Elden Ring is a bit easier and casual player friendly than usual Dark Souls game. So I expect something along the lines of Witcher 3 around hard difficulty. I may be wrong, but by watching others play the teaser version of Elden Ring, it is exactly what it reminded me of, and I can handle the hard difficulty of The Witcher 3. I hope so, never played on it, but if not, at least I will write a funny review video for you to enjoy. Thank you for watching. Also, if you want to buy some games and at the same time support my channel, check my GOG link below. All games there are DRM free. Also, they pay more to developers than Steam does. You will be helping them as well. And now, have a nice day and I'll see you next time. Bye.